And welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty to get to in this week's show. We begin with the Georgia Southern Eagles. They will be hosting UAB, coming off a 34-0 victory this past week against the Citadel. Once again, this game at Paulson Stadium, the Eagles will be looking for a little payback, but a good contest coming up between Georgia Southern and UAB. They lost in Birmingham last year. Looking for some payback. We'll hear from head coach Clay Helton and a few of the players about the game coming up on Saturday night. Elsewhere on the high school front, you've got the Statesboro Blue Devils with this Friday off, coming off their loss to Effingham County. Speaking of the Rebels, Effingham making a visit to Bulloch County Friday night as they will be at Fred Shaver Field taking on the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets. We also have the Portal Panthers on the road at Screven County in a game that is a makeup from a team that canceled against Screven and Portal, and then the Bulloch Academy Gators in action at Gator Alley Friday night as they'll be hosting Trinity. We'll preview all that and more coming up on Upon Further Review. Reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com. Cook's Pharmacy, located on Highway 80 East, is family owned and operated by Lynn and Janie McCook, as well as their son, Josh McCook. Serving the Bulloch County area since 2005, McCook's Pharmacy offers fast and friendly service where the customers come first. Vaccinations are available, including shingles, flu, pneumonia, and Tdap. Drive-through service is available with 2 drive-through windows for your convenience. McCook's Pharmacy offers free local deliveries, and new customers are always welcome. Continuing the tradition of our family caring for your family, McCook's Pharmacy, Highway 80 East. Well, the Georgia Southern Eagles coming off an impressive 34-0 victory this past week against the Citadel in their season opener. The Eagle offense scoring on their first 5 possessions of the game and then struggled a little bit from there, putting up points. Some of that was due to some penalties in the game. The defense able to pitch a shutout, had 1 turnover. That's something that they are hoping they'll get more of this week, and they may need it because UAB beat Georgia Southern last year in Birmingham, rushed for almost 300 yards in that game. The Eagles looking for a better showing this time around. UAB with a new head coach, Trent Dilfer. Yes, the same Trent Dilfer that won a Super Bowl in the NFL as quarterback there. And this is his first year as the head coach at UAB. Last week, their quarterback passed for right at 300 yards. Coach Clay Helton knows that there's going to be quite a test this week.
Going 1-0 on the week against the Citadel, it was a good start for us, especially defensively. You know, anytime that you're going to a new system and you feel like you've provided depth to that system and to Coach Bailey, you're hoping for great production. That's what happened. You know, to be one of 5 teams that pitched a shutout in college football last Saturday was a great start, and I think builds a lot of confidence for our defense. Offensively, had the opportunity to score on the first 5 drives, started fast, played a lot of clean football, and then, you know, in the second half, got a little bit sloppy with penalties, something to be able to coach off of hard this week as we go from game 1 to game 2. You know, obviously, we switched gears in a different style of offense that we're going to compete against this week. Last week in spread option, but this week is a high tempo, spread the field, use every weapon you got style of offense that comes with a really good quarterback in Jacob Zeno. You saw what he did last week, 38 of 41 on the day. You expect that. Coach Dilfer's, you know, one of the better quarterback coaches there is in the country. Has been there for a long time, being able to do that, and you expect that type of production. So it's going to be a great challenge for us going into this Saturday, and hoping to provide that electric atmosphere from our fan base and students that we had last Saturday. We think our strength is in our numbers now. to be honest with you. We played 41 different players defensively. We played 29 different players offensively, 76 total on the game. That's larger than your travel squad you get to take. So to be able to play that amount of players, I think really helps us build experience and build that quality depth. It's going to be interesting. Offensively, you kind of got to see what they are and what they're going to be. Obviously, a high-tempoed offense that spreads the ball around, balanced offense. You look up and you say, oh my gosh, 38 of 41 in the passing game. Their passing team, no, they run the ball just as effectively in between the tackles. It kind of reminds us of what we accomplished last game. A great balance between the two, and it was highly effective. Defensively, it's going to be interesting. They have some coaches that were on staff from last year that showed a drop 8 front. We were the first to get that from them going into that game, and they showed kind of what they were last week against a 10-11 personnel. So you got to be ready for both, and so very similar to last week, we'll have to have answers for both styles of defense. We'll be ready for it, and have the opportunity to see which way they go. I think they'll, just like last week, there'll be a little bit of an adjustment period in those first drive or so, just to see what's going on defensively, and then be able to go from there.
As for the Eagle players, they know that it's going to be a good matchup for them as well, and a step up in competition. We had a chance to talk with them about the game.
I just feel like we have to have a different mentality this week. Last week we played a more running team. This week is more versatile offense, probably an offense that matches up better with our defense this week. And I feel like we're just going to step up to the plate and do what we need to do this week. We're going to go out there, practice, like I said, Tuesday, tomorrow. We're going to practice like it's game day and carry it on throughout the week. I feel like as a defense, we sat down and said we wanted to be the best in the nation. So every challenge that comes to us, we're going to attack it full speed, and I definitely enjoy the challenge because it's going to show us who we are as a defense.
It's really just about us just keep on balling, keep on knowing like there's still more to get out there, And I feel like we started off good, just strong, like, what I'm saying? Now it's just about finishing like with the little things pretty much. I feel like we got all the tools, I feel like everybody do their job, everybody balling to like everybody pretty much love the game, So like when you got a bunch of people that love the game, it's bound to happen. At the end of the day, like we know UAB is a great team. They come in to fight, And so I know that like at the end of the day, the Eagles, we don't back down. We don't, what I'm saying? We don't take the first hit. We give the first hit, So that's just how I feel on that.
And stay with us. Coming up next, we'll preview some high school football action.
Davis, you're in. You tired of being on the sidelines? Let's get you in the game. GATA, get after those assets.
Owning a small business is kind of a big deal. State Farm agents can help you find the right insurance coverage at the right price.
Call State Farm agent Matthew Tyson in Statesboro today.
Well, the Statesboro Blue Devils with this week off to get prepared before they have a tall task at home next week as they'll be hosting Wayne County. We had a chance to talk with head coach Matt Dobson about how he feels things are going.
Obviously would like to win before a bye week, got an extra week. You always want to have a win before that, but comes at a good time. We're going to we had as a staff talked about, what do we need to get accomplished this week? We got some guys where we need to compete. We need to tweak some things, move some guys around, create some depth at certain positions. Other guys may need to rest a little bit, get healed up from being banged up a little bit. And so, but we got to get better fundamentally. We're going to spend some time this week, special teams wise, trying to clean up some of the errors that we've had because it's getting better. It's just one or two things each week we got to clean up, but we had a big punt return this week. We're going to spend some time special teams and then just some fundamentals, offense and defense, making sure we're cleaning up some of the little things that are getting us beat. Just got to continue to find ways to run the football a little bit better. Our passing game's getting to where we want it to be. We're able to hit some explosive plays to multiple different receivers. But we gotta run the football, to be efficient into region play, into the playoffs where we want to go. We've got to run the football better, be more physical up front, be more patient at running back, find the holes a little bit better, blocking on the perimeter a little bit better. Just all different areas, finding creative ways to do that as a coach. But we got to be better running the football. Defensively was a new challenge for us this week with Effingham. What they did offensively was much different than what we had seen the first 3 weeks. They got a really talented quarterback. So felt like we played pretty good on defense. Created a couple turnovers. We still got to continue to try to create more turnovers and then not give up any big plays. We gave up a couple big rushes. We got to eliminate the big plays. We do that, people are going to have a hard time driving the football on us if we don't give up big plays. And so pretty happy with where we're at defensively. We're tackling pretty well, not missing a lot of tackles. Got to continue to just be physical up front and just kind of continue to build on some of the things we've started.
The Southeast Bulloch segment of our show is brought to you in part thanks to Bulloch Solutions. Visit them at bulloch.solutions to find out how they can connect you to the highest speeds for all your technology needs. Well, the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets with a bye week last week, so they were able to see Statesboro play Effingham this past Friday night, and they know they're going to have their hands full. Effingham was able to knock off Statesboro 24-19. We had a chance to talk with head coach Jared Zito and a few of the players about how they're doing and what they expect Friday.
I thought, Statesboro got bit by the turnover bug, and so if we're in the same boat, we'll have the same end result. We got to take care of the ball. We got to score when we're down deep on long drives. Try to keep the ball out of the quarterback's hands as much as we can. I think those would be two main goals, right? One of keeping them limited from scoring, but also keeping him, I think, their best player off the field as much as we can. We're playing good fundamental defense. As long as we'll continue to do that. We talked to our guys yesterday. We're a solid team. We have some talent. We're not going to out-athlete and out-talent most of the people on our schedule, so we have to be more perfect. The fundamentals become really important to us. And so when playing a team like Effingham, 6A school, we're going to have a little more depth, probably more numbers. Those things become even more critically important. We'll do those things in our first home game, so we're excited about that. It's youth middle school night, and so hopefully we'll have a big crowd and everybody come out and give our guys a little extra motivation. We need to score a little more. Those long drives are good, but we got to put points on the board. Like to see a little bit more in the passing game, and we're really trying to figure out who the second running back is right now. It's been kind of by committee, and we kind of joked and said we had tryouts for that spot. So we're trying to find one guy to emerge to take that role, and hopefully someone will this Friday.
I feel like we're getting out there and working hard. We've been working in the weight room, working out at practice. It's just been a good week so far, and we're ready to go play. I feel like last time we played a good game, we just messed up with our leverage a little bit. So we've been working on that, getting ready for our first home game with Effingham. So I'm pretty confident. Hope the team's confident, and we can just go out there and get the job done.
On offense, I feel like we're pretty good. We've got to work on some more things and focus on what we got to do. I'm excited to play at home, first home game, and playing against Effingham. It's a pretty tough team. They've been tough from past years, but pretty excited to play them this year.
Fall is here, and we've got you covered at RJ Pope's. Cheer on your favorite team with performance polos and jackets from Peter Millar and Gentile, as well as Southern Tide and AFCO. For ladies, they have the latest trends and fashions, including men's and women's jackets from Patagonia and Barber. RJ Pope's has a wide variety of on-cloud shoes for men and women, and a great selection of hats and caps. Shop one of their 3 locations, RJ Pope's downtown, Buckhead Plaza, and Vidalia. The Bulloch Academy segment is brought to you in part thanks to Floors Outlet of Statesboro, located on Northside Drive. Come by and visit Mo for all your floor covering needs. The Bulloch Academy Gators coming off a bye week, 2-0 on the season. They've been rolling right along. This week they've got Trinity Christian coming in. Last year it was a shootout, 57-55, with BA coming out on top. This year the Trinity Crusaders have only scored 3 total points. Could be a little lopsided game this Friday at Gator Alley, but we had a chance to talk with head coach Aaron Phillips and a couple of his players about what they expect and how things are going for them.
We had a couple guys banged up, and it was some of the things were off the field stuff, just kind of some accidents, a couple of guys that had strep throat and things like that. So, we played Augusta Christian probably missing 5 dudes that contribute on one side of the ball or the other. So getting those guys back healthy and getting back will be key for us. So, playing, basically 4 games with 2 full scrimmage games and then 2 regular season games, the bye week for us came at a great time. Coach Hopkins gave the best. He gave us an analogy today. He said it was an ancient proverb that lions don't not use all their strength when they hunt a rabbit. So, we think we're better. We think we're better up front, but we got to go prove it. We can't, there's going to be times this season that we're going to have a couple more athletes than some of our opponents, but we can't ease up. We got to treat them just like it would be Frederick or Pinewood. That's the same mentality we preach all the time, and we think that we talk about it every day, and we make it where they hear it all the time. Hopefully it resonates with them.
Feeling really good. I feel like we'll have a better season than we've had any time I've been here at VA, and I think we'll have a really successful season. We have better leaders on the team, and we're leading like the younger guys, so they're like seeing what needs to happen and they're stepping up, and like we get breaks during games. I was just expecting a good game. We got to play hard as we have for the other games.
I think we're doing pretty good on offense and defensively. I think we kind of just not letting people score, and we're scoring pretty easily right now. When we run like the option, it kind of brings everyone in, and then they start stacking the box, trying to stop the run game, and it kind of just opens up everything for the pass game for us. I think we should be able to handle them pretty well. I think we got to go out and execute. We got to show up ready and just beat them.
That game's scheduled for a 7:30 kickoff at Gator Alley. One final note, the Portal Panthers in action on the road at Screven County. This is not a scheduled game, but both teams had a team that had dropped football prior to the season, so they were able to find a date and play that game, taking place in Sylvania, 7:30 Friday night. That'll wrap things up for now. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.